Creating a household of faith can seem overwhelming, but discovering the timeless wisdom of Proverbs 31 can provide the insight you need to create a strong foundation for your family. In this episode, we will explore how applying Proverbs 31 to your home can create a faith-filled environment that honors and glorifies God. By the end, you will have a clear vision of how to build a household of faith and to bring God into the center of your home. So let's explore the wisdom of Proverbs 31. Hello, welcome to Bringing Hope Home with Pastors Bryce and Colette Schaefer. We're glad again that you are here for the end of our month of as we've been going over Proverbs.
Yep, we've been enjoying Proverbs and the wisdom that it has for us, for our own lives and our family. And it's full of nuggets of truth, which they say are more precious than rubies and greater than gold. Mm-hmm. And that is true, certainly true for all of us that are gleaning and leaning into the Lord in their lives. And I hope you've done that throughout this whole month because we've never plummeted the depths of what God's knowledge and wisdom can offer us in our lives. And so this month, September, only has 30 days in it. So you're going to have to double up here at the end so you can get to the 31 at least once. And so the Proverbs 31 woman, there are conferences out there on this subject as the overarching umbrella, out there on this subject. But, I don't want you men to tune out today and just turn it off because it's not just for women. It's how your household and your mindset is supposed to be in faith. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, it says the virtuous wife, but the wife that we're also married to, both the husband and the wife, we're married to hopefully God's wisdom. Mm-hmm. And because of that, all steps of our life and our family can be ordered by that. Mm-hmm. And we're going to learn about it from this proverb here.
Right, because if you look at it, it's like, wow, she does everything. What is the guy doing?
Yeah, he's eating bonbons in the corner, I guess, going golfing. That'd be great. I like that idea.
Yeah, but actually, this isn't just one woman that they're talking about. This was written, the mother of King Lemuel.
Yeah.
And actually, they say this was an acrostic poem that he learned, or that she taught him. And so it's kind of going through different virtues that a woman has, right?
And what a home should possess.
Right.
And again, the woman is the heart of the home. So these are things that the woman should be looking for. But at the same time, when you as a wife is looking for a husband, are they bringing these same attributes and helping submerge in that with the wife as well? So
let's start in verse 10. So we'll just start there. It says, who can find a virtuous wife?
I'm going to stop you right there. I can. I did. All right, there we go.
You're funny. Who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her. So right there, we talked about trust at the first week of September. And, right here, it says their relationship, right? The heart of her husband safely trusts her. He's trusting her. She's trusting him. There is a peace there. You can just sense that they are trusting each other.
Yeah. And they're both bringing something to this table. They're both supporting the family.
They're going in the same direction.
They're pulling in the same direction. And, in a family, too, there's going to be weaknesses on both sides. And I just trust that God put us together, or, when you do the same thing with your spouse, that they make up the difference with those weaknesses. Mm-hmm. Don't get upset at somebody. Well, you just never look at that checkbook. You don't understand numbers. Instead, say, you know what? God has given me to that other that doesn't understand the numbers I do, so I'm not going to belittle. I'm going to build up and support one another. Again, there's a godly way to look at it. Oh, that's just, it's more problem than it's worth. No, it's not. Because God brought you together.
Yep.
So,
yep. so he will have no lack of gain. Verse 12, she does him good and not evil all the days of her life. Okay, so she's speaking good about him. They have this good, solid relationship. And so this is the foundation right here of a household of faith, is the foundation is good. You know, they trust each other and they're trusting God. That's the foundation for a good household of faith. Verse 13, she seeks wool and flax and willingly works with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She brings her food from afar. She also arises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and a portion of her maidservants. She considers a field and buys it. From her profits she plants a vineyard. She girds herself with strength and strengthens her arms. She perceives that her merchandise is good and her lamp does not go out by night. She stretches out her hands to the distaff and her hands hold the spindle. She extends her hand to the poor. Yes, she reaches out her hand to the needy. She is not afraid of snow for her household, for all her household is clothed with scarlet. She makes tapestry for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them and supplies sashes for the merchants. Strength and honor are her clothing. She shall rejoice in the time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and on her tongue is the law of kindness. She watches over the ways of her household, and she does not eat the bread of idleness. Many daughters have done well, but you excel them all. Charm is deceitful, and beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates.
Amen. Sounds like somebody I want to be married to. You know, and vice versa. It really, again, there's some nuggets of truth for all of us. And when we all do these, man and woman, your house is going to be a household of faith and a household of grace and beauty that you couldn't even try to do on your own. You know, and the first thing you see back in 12 through 16 really is this gal works hard. She is not just spending. She is thoughtful. She is purposeful with her actions. Not every wife is required to get up before dawn to start making breakfast or anything. That is ridiculous. But what we are is intentional about our work. We have purpose in our day. You know, you every morning sit at your little Bible spot on the couch and read your Bible and then come up with your plan for the day. You like planners?
I do.
And you know, it's to keep you on task and you're moving things around. I think that's, again, a virtuous virtue that we should all strive to have, where we have an intent in our day. We shouldn't let our day dictate to us. We need to dictate the day. And that's what this lady is doing. And it's so important and vital that we do that. And then as you go on in 17 and 18, you know, she is generating wealth for her family. She is preparing for the future in her family. And it's so important that we all have that mindset of growth, of taking care of and providing, and not just everything just come to me, but I'm going to go after it and do the best that I can and put God in the middle of all these things. You know,
right. She's not just being busy to be busy, you know, and that's the thing. In our days, we can just get so busy nowadays, you know, just busy with stuff. You know, we have to go here, we have to get the kids to this practice and our jobs, and all of these things pile up. You know, it's good to step back a little bit and say, God, what do you want me to put my hand to? What do I need to step away from? You know, if you read through this, you know, as a woman, you could be thinking, boy, I need to be doing more.
Right.
Well, what gifts has he given you, and what has he put on your heart to do? You know, we need to do that faithfully.
And what season are you in? And again, it's asking God for wisdom. How do I juggle all these things? How do I put you first and everything else in line of that. And yeah, you're right. It's not about more, but it's about intent and purpose. And again, there's an outcome that this wisdom, this lady is going after for her household. And she's not leaving things up to chance. And that's, again, a lot of families do that, especially with their kids. Well, let the school teach them. Well, let the church, show them God. Well, hopefully they'll grow up and find God. Well, whatever. Don't leave things to chance. Talk about it. Plan for it. Develop with God that plan. This is so good that she's making her house flourish. I like, in 21 it says she is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all the household is clothed with scarlet, means with warmth. She was prepared and ready for it, so she didn't just go frivolously, buy extra things or waste money or be lazy. And that's all of us need to be that way. You shouldn't, when you get a little extra, I remember thinking when we were first in the ministry and somehow we got a little extra money, I remember thinking, woohoo, we can spend it on this and this and this. I remember that one time, and God just said, as I was driving home from work one day, after we had that little extra, and he said, just slow down, just wait. I was like, wait, I got all these things I could be doing with. And about a couple days later, or less than a week, I think our window, I come out of my school building that I was at, and the window of my car was down. It had just automatically came down. And so I had to drive home with my window open. Luckily, we lived in Oklahoma in the school year. But anyway, I remember thinking, God then checking me on the way home and says, see, now you have the money to fix that. And it's like, that's good. Now I was still ticked. Lord, I want the money for this and of what I was asking you for. But he says, you know what? I'm taking care of your needs. You got to listen to me. I will give you those other things. Maybe not in the timing you want, but you'll get there. But just listen to me. Plan with my voice. And it's so key to all this, that we operate out of him in our lives. It's just so, so important. And I like it at the end of this, verse 20, end of 29 and the end of 31, it says, but you excel them all. God wants to excel your life, and don't think anything less than that. And because if you have doubts, nuggets of doubt in your life that God is trying to prevent you from things or keep you from things, well, the only thing he is keeping you from evil, so that's a good thing. But, have the idea that he wants to excel every area of your family. You, your spouse, your relationship together, your kids, your relationship with them, their lives, and God can accelerate that. And then I love at the end of 31 where it says, but a woman who fears the Lord, she is to be praised. The fear of the Lord. And that's where this whole thing started back in the beginning of Proverbs, to fear the Lord.
Have respect for him.
Have that reverence, honor, and respect. Not be terrified of him.
No, but give him place.
Give him that place. And so that woman who fears the Lord, guess what? They will be praised. So it's almost a little bit opposite. I'm going to submit and get under the mission of God in my life. I'm going to trust in him and think of him first. And guess what? I get praised because of it. I actually come out on top. How can that be? Because in the world, if I go do that, I'm never noticed. But God notices you, and God will provide for you. And it's all about putting him first, and seek ye first the kingdom. And all these things will be added. So this isn't really just a to-do list, for a woman. This is a to-do list for all of us, and us pulling together and not being, wishy-washy in our intent of life. Doesn't mean we can't have fun. Doesn't mean we can't have vacations. God has never said no to those things, but he wants us to do it in his timing and in his way. I love it when we've gone to Albania twice now on mission trips and to Belize once. And each time we go with intent and purpose to serve, to sacrifice. And I'll tell you what, we come back full and rich, and a time when we're in each of those spots of blessing, because God is not going to leave you neglected when you seek and follow after him. I can guarantee it. Well, I won't have my time. I won't have this. I won't have that. No. And maybe you don't need that. You got to talk to God through all this and find his plan for your life.
And I think that's what, the main gist of Proverbs 31 is, she fears the Lord in everything that she's doing. Again, we had talked about, it's not just God first, your spouse second, third, fourth, down the list. It's God first in all of these. She's seeking God for all of these things that she's doing, and so in all of that, she's fearing God. She's seeking his wisdom, and that's what, if you want a household of faith, you are seeking God's wisdom in everything that you are doing. You're trusting him, but you are seeking him together.
Yeah.
That is the most awesome thing, when you can come together as a couple and seek God together. You can seek him separately and then come together.
Amen.
And you have that confirmation that, yep, we heard God right and we're moving together. That just builds for a very strong family unit.
And a blessed family.
Yeah.
And when you see the word blessed throughout the Bible, a lot of times that means empowered and successful. And yes, blessed means I'm going to bless the Lord. I'm going to praise and exalt him. But at the same time, a lot of those blessed means I'm blessed. I'm fortified. I'm right. And I have God's blessing on me, which means I have more than enough. Mm-hmm. And that's what this lady has, through the wisdom that she is doing. And she's putting the natural and supernatural together.
And that's the key.
And that is the key for all of our lives, is to not leave God in a box and not leave everything up to God either, but to work hand in hand to be one in all that we're doing. Mm-hmm. And we're going to find true success in everything that we're doing. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, this has been an awesome study this month, so I hope you've enjoyed it. As we have dug into Proverbs. Again, you can read Proverbs every month, every day read a new Proverbs, and it just fits into your months, and it's good to do. So next month we will start a new topic.
Yeah,
so join us next week as we get into October.
Yeah,
so
that would be great. In habit-forming life.
Yeah, there you go.
What kind of life are we going to live? Starts with our habits.
There you go. So until next time, bring hope home to your life today. Introducing our exciting new membership program for partners of our ministry. Experience the divine word like never before with daily devotions texted directly to your phone every weekday. But that's not all. Engage in captivating live Bible studies, enhancing your faith journey and bringing you closer to the Holy Word. As part of our spiritual family, you will also get exclusive discounts on all our books and products, enriching your learning and growth as a believer. What's more, by becoming a partner, you're actively helping to spread the gospel around the world as we work specifically to provide resources to Albania. This membership is available to you through your monthly support and partnership of any amount. So why wait? Answer the call and join us on this remarkable spiritual journey. You can find details and get started in our show notes.